Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, I want to give you some insight into one of the most exciting events that's happening in Raid Shadow Legends over the next couple of weeks, and this is an event organized by none other than Deadwood Jedi of Clan Boss Calculator fame. And basically, there are 9 content creators, not including Deadwood, and we are going to be fighting against each other in teams of 3. So team 1 is, I believe it's Hell Hades, going in with MTG Jedi, who's not in this picture, but he is involved, of course, and Layla Fox. Team 2 is Cold Brew, Ivy League Gaming, and Smiley TK. And then Team 3 is me, Scratch, and YST. So lots of familiar faces from folks we've collaborated with here on the channel. A few folks haven't got around to collaborate with yet. So for example, actually being able to do videos with Scratch and meet Scratch and talk to him has been really cool. There is in fact going to be a video today on Scratch's channel where myself, Scratch, and YST, we all get together and talk about the draft and stuff like that. But I want to do a quick video talking about it here myself as well, and give you a couple of my insights and what my thought process was for a couple of the different choices. So the way that this works is very, very cool. Let me bring this up. This is the actual draft. Actually, let me jump in here first. This is faction-based games. Basically, every content creator, we have to go through a draft and pick the factions one by one, knocking them out. Every content creator only gets to use one faction. That's it. You are locked into one specific faction for the whole event. Then we have the events that you can take part in. There's the Arena, Hydra, Hard, and then the 4 dungeons at level 20. Dragon, Ice Golem, Spider, and Fire Knight. So you got to do those. Only using champions for your faction, and you are competing against the other team and their representative. So it's very cool. I mean, just at a quick thought, a quick glance here, if you guys had to pick a faction, which faction would you pick? What would be your go-to? What would be your go-to to compete in this, and which events would you want to do? It's pretty tough, you know, being on the spot and making that decision. It's quite tough. Let me show you the draft and what the content creators, what we actually went for. So the first pick, the first faction that went was Hell Hades picking up Demon Spawn. This to me is not really any surprise. For me, I would definitely say Demon Spawn is the strongest faction in the game. For me, there's like 3 top, and then the 4th one was a little bit further behind, but still pretty good. But Demon Spawn is definitely number 1. They've got, you know, you're talking about dungeons level 20, Prince Kymar for resets, for speedruns, incredible. You've got Hefrak, the new legendary, who hits ridiculously hard. Genuinely does hit harder than Trunda, which is insane. It's not just clickbait, he actually does. Candy is in there, of course, for Arena. Sissia for Spider, for Hydra. There's so much potential. Duchess, of course. Not good for speedrunning level 20 dungeons, but insane in the Arena, insane in Hydra. They've got champions like Akoth for Burns. They've got Atchak for Freezes. Magnar's in there. Allure for Fire Knight. There's a lot of different champs in there, so this is definitely like the go-to team. We were up second, and Scratch chose Undead. So this was where, actually, I would have gone slightly different. This is really interesting, but I'm glad that he did it. I think it's going to make for really cool content for you guys. For me, I would have put Demon Spawn, Dark Elf, Sacred Orders, the top 3, with Undead in 4th place. But Scratch wanted to pick them up early, and he's got some really cool teams. I think you're going to be really interested in the teams. I tend to overlook Undead, I'm going to be completely honest, because I just don't have many of the legendaries. And that's where the strength is. We have some good, in fact, some very good epics in here. We also have a lot of kind of junky epics. And the legendaries I have are definitely the weaker ones. I don't have the best of the best. But Scratch, stay tuned. He's going to have some pretty crazy teams. And by the way, his areas that he is going to be tackling, I'm going to predict what the others are going to tackle. He is going for Spider and Arena with Undead. Dark Elf, Sacred Order were then picked up by Smiley and Ivy Lee. I think these were for me the two other absolute top tier factions. Dark Elves just have so much, you know, from Lydia. They've got so many nukers, and I think this is something you need in a faction. You need to have multiple backups. But they've got so much that they can do. They can blow up waves with Xavia. They can blow up bosses with Xavia. They got ally attacks in there with Lanicus. They've got Ray, Foley. They've got so many nukers. Rule to nuke. Lydia for decreased defense. Ghostborn for decreased defense. Even Eva can nuke. Astrolith in the Arena is actually a bit sleeper. So is Mithrala. Dark Kale enables Xavia. And that was the biggest mistake we think of the draft, was that we never banned Xavia because we were able to ban some champions. And she is very scary because she can blow up poisons lay poisons herself. So she's definitely one to watch out for. But Dark Elves are pretty nuts. I mean, they've got Madame Ceres for Arena. They've got Sylar for Arena. They've a lot going on in this faction. Sacred Order, then, would actually be my pick for the best faction for Hydra. By miles, actually. I think they're by far the best. We've got so many epics, and obviously we've got Inquisitor Shamail in there. In terms of banning them out of decreased defense or AoE burns, you just can't do it. Mordecai is an AoE burn. Venus and Cupidus now both bring AoE burns. For healing and keeping them alive, they've got Archbishop and Bivil. They've got Cardial is super OP. Godseeker is insane. They've got Phoenix, Deacon, Armstrong. Like Deacon and Venus give you AoE decreased defense. Abbess gives you decreased defense as well. They've got counterattack with Martyr. Cupidus is completely nuts now. They've got so much going on. Astralon for Arena, Archbishop for Arena and Hydra and stuff. They've got so much here. Unkillable stuff with Sir Nicholas, potentially, you know. They have so much stuff going on in this faction. I think this faction is crazy good. So a really good pickup. And yeah, going on from that, YST chose Orcs. Layla Fox got the Shadowkin. MTG Jedi the High Elves. I took Knights Revenant. And Coldbrew took the Dwarves. On top of this, so these are the factions. We also got some bans as well. So everyone was able to... this is from Deadwood's stream yesterday. And I encourage you to watch the whole stream. Where Deadwood will have a sort of summary video up on his channel, I think today. Probably up live by the time this video goes live. We also got to ban... Each team got to ban 3 champs from the other teams, right? So from Team Red here, so Demon Spawn, Shadowkin, High Elves, they got Prince Kymar banned. Really no surprise. Hefrak and Sissia also banned from Demon Spawn. I think it's important to take these out. These are just super fast speed farm champions. You want to get rid of them. Same thing with Royal Guard, Ninja, and Ethos. It's just really targeting the damage potential here. Trying to get rid of that. I meant that the utility is pretty much untouched, but really neutering their damage potential. You know, level 20 dungeons, Royal Guard's just going to destroy the bosses. Ethos and Hefrak are going to destroy the waves. Kymar, Ninja, super OP for Hydra, and for killing bosses too. So just trying to knock down some of the damage. From our team, we actually got these champs banned. Seer from Orcs and Warlord from Orcs. Sifi and Mashald from Undead, and Hegemon and Calvalax from Knights Revenant. So I was personally very happy with this. Knight Revenant. I do not have Calvalax or Hegemon, so that was kind of a win for me. Very happy with that one. And then finally from Team CSI, Lydia, Venus, Coldheart, Cardial, Trunda, and Geomancer were banned. So we were talking about this over in Scratch's video. You can hear our whole reasoning there. But Scratch was kind of feeling that the Lydia ban was a mistake, and we should have banned Xavia. I kind of felt like the Geomancer ban was a mistake, and that should have been a Xavia ban. We're worried very much so about Smiley and the Dark Elves bringing in Xavia and Poison Explosion and destroying some dungeons. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. And basically, the way I'm expecting, where do I think people are going to go? So with our team, Scratch is doing Arena and Spider. YST is going to be doing Dragon and Fire Knight with Orcs. And I'm going to be doing Hydra and Ice Golem with Knight Revenants. Or Knights Revenant. Let me know. So this is Knights Revenant. What teams would you put together? I'm curious. I've already got a pretty... I've been working on some teams already. I got some stuff cooking. But what would you do? The Knights Revenant. What teams would you put together for those areas of content? I'm pretty confident. I think this is a really good faction, especially with this patch. You know, Shemnath and Dreng being in there on the test server. It's going to help a lot. But yeah, this is, I think it's a really strong faction. So I think it was kind of a sleeper faction. Like, no one chose Knights Revenant until 8. It was second last pick. In hindsight, we definitely should have chosen it 5th. I think it should be 5th, or Shadowkin maybe. But they're kind of nuts, so we'll see. Well, what would you put together? In terms of the other teams and where I would put them if I was to put them. Now, this is not where they're going. In fact, I do know where they are going, but I've forgotten. But I know that where I would put them and where they have put them are not the same, which is very interesting. So I'll be very curious to hear their reasoning of why they're going where. So at Demon Spawn, I'd be looking to put the Demon Spawn in the Arena for sure. And then it's hard to know where else. Maybe in the Dragon as well. For High Elves, I'd definitely be sending High Elves to Hydra. I think that's their strongest position. And then after that, I think that the problem with High Elves is that they're definitely sort of lacking in some really big damage dealers. We took Ethos out, so you've got Yannicka, but she's Spirit Affinity, so you kind of have to play around that. And Royal Huntsman, Roanus, they're pretty decent. Alexander's okay. But with Royal Guard being banned as well, they're a little bit stretched there. I'd be thinking maybe Fire Knight could be pretty good as well. I'm just not sure if they have enough turn meter control, but I definitely think Hydra would be the place I would have sent them. Tutora providing Perfect Veil. Arbiter, very strong for Hydra. Then Yannicka is really good. You've got Alexander for decreased defense, or I think Royal Huntsman does decreased defense, AoE as well. You've got Block Bust from Deliana. They don't have AoE HP burn, but you could do some stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. Elenarl does HP burn on her A1, but there's no one to enable her poison explosion. There's no other poisoner in this faction to really enable her to go. But I think you could do some pretty cool stuff. So there you go. That's what I would be doing there. Shadowkin then. Shadowkin, I'd probably... yeah. I'd probably send Demon Spawn to Fire Knight with Allure. High Elves then. I guess they could do Ice Golem actually pretty well. Yeah, I'd say actually High Elves look pretty good for Ice Golem. Pixneal, believe it or not, I think could be pretty strong. Tutora, very strong. Yannicka can nuke it down. I think they can make it through. I think they could make it through for sure. It'd be interesting to see. And then I'd be sending the others wherever, right? I guess Shadowkin to do Spider and Dragon then. Something like that. But it's kind of tough. It's tough to call it, right? It's tough to call it. For blue team here, Dark Elves, Sacred Order, Dwarves. Dark Elves, I'd be sending them to Dragon 100%. Xavia, Dark Kael, and I think they win it very easily. I'd be sending Sacred Order to Hydra, no question. And then after that, Dwarves. Where would Dwarves be the strongest? So they got Herndig, who's very powerful. So possibly Dwarves. Yeah, possibly Dwarves with Herndig leading the charge into Fire Knight. That might work. And then Dark Elves could also probably do Ice Golem with Xavia and Dark Kael and really rip it apart. So that could be very strong. Alternatively, Sacred Order could be cool for Ice Golem and maybe put together an unkillable team with Sir Nicholas. So just use his unkillable buff to just tank through all the Ice Golem hits and just go pure damage and nuke it down. Pretty intriguing, right? Pretty intriguing. But that's probably what I would be doing. So yeah, I would be expecting an Ice Golem to be up against maybe Sacred Order, and maybe High Elves. And I'd actually expect the same. I'd probably expect to be up against High Elves and Sacred Order in the Hydra as well. That would be my expectation. Of course, we shall see how it goes. Yeah, I'm expecting to be up against both teams for Ice Golem and for Hydra. And I'm not sure. I feel like Sacred Order might have the edge, but I'm also pretty confident in Night Revenants. I think that I'm going to have some pretty sneaky strategies I can put together to do some fun stuff. So we shall see. Basically, the way these events are going to work, let me just confirm here. And obviously, you can check out Deadwood Jedi's channel where he's going to be covering all this sort of stuff. But this is running for like the next, just over the next week. I think it's about over the next 10 days or so. The first event is going to be... the Dragon Run is going to be on the 12th of July. So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Dragon, and it's going to be 5 p.m. UTC, 10 a.m. Pacific on Deadwood Jedi stream. So twitch.tv/Deadwood Jedi. You can check that out there. It's going to be the Dragon Run. July 13th is Spiders. July 15th is the Arena. July 17th is Fire Knight. July 19th is Ice Golem. And July 21st is the Hydra. Actually, I think that maybe they're going to swap Fire Knight and Ice Golem. Possibly. But either way, I'm going to be near the end of it. So July 17th, 21st, I think. Possibly July 19th and 21st. So I got a ways to go. I've got over a week to wait here. Prepare my team. Or my teams. It's going to be spicy. You're going to have to build up an arena team as well. But yeah, find all the details over on Deadwood Jedi. This is my quick overview, my quick thoughts. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Who do you think did best out of these three teams? Who do you think has the strongest three? I'd actually say on paper, for me, I would say the blue team has the strongest trio on paper. I think they got the best out of the draft. I think Dark Elf, Sacred Order together were so strong. And then there was, they just picked up whatever good faction was left. I think that our one is the one that is definitely the most interesting, I think, personally. I think our team with Undead, Orcs, Knights, Revenant, considering like Seer is banned, I think it's the most interesting. I think we're going to have the craziest teams. Could be wrong about that. And I think Demon Spawn, Shadowkin, High Elves is pretty intriguing. Demon Spawn being the best. I think Shadowkin, High Elves are definitely a tier lower. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to catch you watching the games. Gonna give you updates and stuff as we go through the next week or so, alongside the usual content as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.